Hi, this is Edward Troxel. In the previous tutorial, we learned some of the differences between a custom command and a regular script. So in this tutorial, we're going to start building our first custom command. To build the custom command, we have to have some special code in there so that Vegas can recognize it as being a custom command. So we're going to look at that code and basically get the bare bones basic stuff added. So let's get all this began. To create a custom command, we first need to open Visual Studio and go to File, New, Project. Here you will select a class library, and we want .NET 4. So this is what it looks like when you go to Visual Studio 2015. You just open this up, you see .NET 4 is available here, and you would just click on Class Library, and then you would be able to change all the information down here to save the project. Now let's look at the same process in Visual Studio 2019. So if we go to File, New, Project, we want to choose Class Library. So if we choose the first class library that we see, which does have C# in it, and we go to Next and Next, we will look at the drop-down box and we'll see that .NET 4 is not listed as an option there. We want .NET 4 for our custom command, so let's go back, and let's see if we can find some more class libraries. So here's another one, but if we look at it, once again, no .NET 4. So if we keep going down, here's another class library. Let's keep going down, and you just keep on scrolling through. Here's a class library, but it's a Razor class library. We don't want that. We want just a standard class library. We don't want a Windows Form app, but that is for creating a .NET Windows form. So that looks more like it's correct. Let's look at this one, Windows Forms class library. We don't want a Windows Forms, but let's go ahead and look at it anyway. And if we went into Next, once again, no .NET 4. So let's go back and let's keep going down, and you have to scroll a long way down, and we keep looking for class. Here's a class library. We can check it out. This one is for a Windows 10. So this is the new Universal Windows platform. We don't want that. So let's go back again. And we'll keep going down. Class Library .NET Framework. That sounds promising. So let's go to Next. And here we'll see that we do have .NET 4 available. So this is the one that we actually want to use. So now I set it up to the location is in my test scripts folder, and I'm going to create, let's just call this a CC test, because this is going to be our custom command test. And then we will create. First thing I'm going to do is right click on references, and we're going to choose add reference. Then we're going to browse, and we're going to browse, and then we want to go to drive C, program files, scroll down to Vegas. I'm going to go ahead and use Vegas Pro 19. Technically, if you use 14, that would work in 14 through 19. Let's just use 19 for this example. So we want to scroll down to scriptportal.vegas.dll, and we add that, and now our custom command will be able to reference Vegas. Next, I'm going to rename our class 1, and let's just name this CC test. Yes, I want to change all references. Then I want to right click on CC test. We're going to choose add, and I want to add a user control, and I'm going to name this our CC main form. This will be the main form that we open up once the custom command is opened. It needs to be a user control instead of a form because of the way Vegas works with creating the windows. So we don't want to use a form, we want to use a user control. Let's add that. And here you can see the window itself, and you can add, we will be able to add whatever we want to add on there. For now, I'm just going to leave it blank because I just wanted to get the form itself there so that we could reference it in our CC test. Okay, I've pasted some code up here. Let's go through and look at some of our names. So the first thing we need to go do is go through and change all of our variable names. We know our namespace that we created was CC test. So our namespace needs to be changed back to CC test, but we need to change it everywhere that is listed. So let's do a find and replace. And we're going to find MyCCMainNameSpace, and we're going to replace that with CC test. And we want to change that everywhere. So we're just going to do a replace all. And it changed 5 occurrences of it. Now, the next one is MyCCMainFormName. We know the name of the form is CCMainForm. So we're going to replace this with CCMainForm. Let's do a replace all. It replaced it twice. The next thing, we have a MyCCDockcontrolClass, which is our dockable control. So we need to change those names to whatever we want to use this time. I'm just hitting Control, highlighting this, then hitting Control H, which brings this up, and then I can type in whatever I want. So let's just call this CC Test Dock, because that's our dockable control. Replace them all, and it replaced it 4 times. Okay, this is a dockable control. This is the correct name for the form. This was changed correctly. So basically we're looking for everything that begins with a MyCC. This one is an internal name that is used by Vegas to keep track of your script. So it needs to be unique, but it can be whatever you want it to be. So let's hit Control H, and let's call this CC Test. We'll just call it internal. Run a replace, and it replaced it 3 times. This is what's going to be displayed on the tab. So when you open Vegas and we look at our tabs through here, this is what is going to be displayed on the tab. So for Excalibur, I just listed Excalibur. Let's just change this to CC Test, since that's what we've been calling this. It changed it twice. Alright, let's scroll on down and look for something that needs to be changed, and then we'll go back through here and look at each one of these lines so that we can figure out exactly what they do. Okay, we have a class name for our custom command module. This is what Vegas actually looks for to determine whether or not this is a custom command. Notice this class is not inside the namespace. This is so Vegas can find it. So let's do the custom command module, and let's rename this to, we'll just name it CC Test, and I'm just going to add CCM on the back of the custom command module. Then we'll come down here and we have a variable where we create our custom command module. So let's have this variable. I'll just name it CCM because it's our custom command module. The next thing that we can change is the actual text that will show up when you get to the extensions menu. So let's change this. Let's just call this My Test Custom Command. Change them all. Changed once. And as we come on down, look for more variables to change. Looks like we have another one here, which is our dot control variable. Let's just call this CCMDock. So if we use the base that I gave you here, we have 9 variables that we need to change. They all begin with MyCC to make them easy to find, and then you change them so that it's unique to your custom command and makes sense to your custom command. So now we've built the basics of our custom command. In the future tutorials, we'll continue building on this custom command to add stuff to the screen and show some of the things that must be done in order to get the custom command functions to properly work. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.